Hi everybody, this is Diane. It is a cold Sunday today, and I'm playing. Yesterday I played with some of my stamps. I got out some of the scraps that I have been accumulating. They accumulate so fast, don't they? But I specifically pulled out copy dyed or, and mostly narrow scraps because I have a specific purpose. And I got out some stamps to play with. Let me see, I got out a bunch and I didn't use them all yesterday, but that have narrow stamps. Mostly I wanted to use words, but I thought these would be fun too. I got out the paper tray ink, cute as a button, and or button boutique and something else, but they have some good words in them. Those stamp sets. And my Kathy Holden. This is not the one I was looking for, but it does have some long narrow things. And this is a Kathy Holden, which is signatures. I was looking for that one in my set, in my collection. Didn't use that one yet. And this is also dates from the past from Sam Poole. I have parts 1 and 2 of that. This journal stamp from Tailor Made Journals. A couple of those. Sam Poole, I did use a couple of these. 1, 2, 3 of them, to be exact. And I don't think I used, maybe I did use that one. Mode Parisienne. Some of these stamps are fun. I love this set from Tim Holtz. I debated on getting this for a long time, and then when I got it, I was so happy that I did. I still haven't used all of the stamps. You can see I've used some, and I used some that I hadn't used yet yesterday, so you'll see some of those. These are my Tailor Made Journal stamps, some of my new ones. I used the Antiquities and Mode de Paris. I think I used that one too yesterday. And here, this is what I was looking for from Kathy Holden. All of these words, really fun. I did use a few of them yesterday. I hope I'm in camera. So I won't show you all of them. I used some from here. I don't think I did any of those. And I don't think I did use a couple of this one. So I have them all out so I can keep playing with them, and I'm sure if I look through my stamps more, I would find more, but don't you think this is enough? So I just pulled out strips, colored strips, copy dyed strips, and stamped. That's not part of this. Look at all that. Isn't that great? All those fun things. So I could just take this word and put it on something. Put it on a page, add it to a collage, stick it on a tag. But I am making little clusters today. Let me show you a few that I made already. I didn't make very many, but I did this one with the pretty blue paper. Where am I in camera? Okay. And this is a scrap of a gorgeous wrapping paper and just a little pink scrapbook paper and some lace, a scrap of lace, and I inked around everything. And I have this little piece that I can just glue to a page. It would make a really nice little pocket, actually. And this one would not be a pocket. It's got fabric behind it, and it's got a embossed, I think it was copy dyed or vintage paper. It was very fragile and breaking apart. So I wouldn't want to use that as a pocket. I would glue it down. It's got some green dyed paper and some pink dyed paper that I stamped the word journal on. This one is the Antiquities from one of the Lorna Taylor. This one is from, I think this one is from Lorna Taylor too. And this one is from that Kathy Holden word set. And this has a pleated fabric behind it, and this little piece of, I don't know, I don't know what it is, but it's old. And I thought that would just be fun glued to a page. And then this one is all paper, dyed paper, a vintage ledger. I love the blue ink on this. And it was very fragile. It just breaks, it just comes apart where it was folded. So it's great to just cut up and use. And then I stamped that. I think that was from a Sam Poole stamp set. Stamped that on blue paper. And then I stamped the tiny word notes and on blue paper. And then I used that really beautiful gift wrap, this gift wrap. So I had this scrap piece of the gift wrap, and it's so beautiful I didn't want to waste it, so it's been in my stash waiting to get used. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because this word is more centered and this one is off to the side, and it all depends on where the images are in your background piece. I didn't want to cover that daisy too much. I wanted that to show. That daisy with the pink center is so pretty. So I put that off to the side. And this one had kind of a blank space there, so that was perfect to put it in the middle. I didn't say that I have this pile of stuff. And this is all from my collage pouch. I keep stuffing stuff in there and I don't do anything with it. Look at all that. Stuff that I can use in collages. So I figured I better get that out and actually use some of it. So that's where some of these pieces were from. I didn't say this is from this part of a music paper, old sheet music cover. I just tore a piece of that off. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to play right now in this video, is take some of these things that I've already stamped and make some little clusters with them. So I'll take the word vintage and we'll find something to pair it with. This is an old German periodical. I like it with that. So a lot of these are printed or stamped on pieces that are probably too small to tear. Wouldn't be able to tear all the way around the edges, but I could tear around this. So I'm just going to fold it to help me tear it more easily. Don't want to tear too much of it off. I do like that edge, that browned edge. Maybe I'll leave that. Just enough to put some color behind it. And this I can definitely tear. Maybe put some cheesecloth with it. I want you to be able to still see the text, the script back there. It's got a really cool font, and it's in German. So yeah, that makes a nice little cluster there. I'll just do a little bit of inking. probably leave some of these words and stamped phrases and things just single and use them on pages, or like I said before, I don't have to make collages out of them, but because it would take me a very long time to make collages out of all of those. But I do want to have a good amount in a stash to use. All right, I can glue this down, and then I would probably maybe just sew around the word vintage through all of the layers. You can see I sewed around 1, 2, 3, all 3 of the paper pieces. And this one I sewed around 2 pieces because it only has 3 layers. These I just glued, and this one I just sewed around the 1 layer. So you can do it whatever, change it up. Do whatever works for each individual piece. I want to make sure I do some small ones too, like the notes that I already did. This is from the Kathy Holden set of words too. You can center things. This one is pretty centered. The cheesecloth is off-centered, so it doesn't make it too symmetrical looking. But there's nothing wrong with having it symmetrical looking. It just depends on the look you're going for. So I just play it by ear, whichever way I think looks best with the particular elements that I'm using. I'll put them symmetrical or asymmetrical. So I will end up, once that glue is dry, I'll end up just sewing around the vintage part. Okay, let's do this one. It says Workroom 220. That's probably on that Tim Holtz sheet full of stamps that I showed you. And I think that was the first time I ever used that stamp. This is a scrapbook paper with a grid and some pattern on it. I thought that would be fun to play with. It's in my collage bundle. It's a little bit pale, so I'll put something darker behind it. I should do that before I cut it, to make sure I don't cut it too small. There's a scrap of craft paper. Just a hint of it behind her, but behind that pale piece, but it's enough to help it stand out from the background. I could cut this piece smaller also. Oops. Yeah. I really like that flower piece. So I could move this off center and let that decorative edge show. And maybe make it just a little bit shorter. I do have to take the time to ink some of the things. Can't hold on to it. It's not cut straight. On this, I would probably just sew around the brown piece. I could sew around the edge of this just for decorative purposes, the bigger piece, but I don't think I'll sew around this because it's very skinny. What shall we do next? The only item that I stamped that was more than one stamp combined is this. I wanted to use the stars. It's a set of 3 stars. So I stamped that circle and then did the 3 stars 3 times. Was that on the Tim Holtz one? Yes, there's the stars. And there's the circle. So they both came from that Tim Holtz set. And it is called Eccentric CMS 448. I have this matte piece. Maybe it would look good on that. I want it to look like a map. Don't know. Let's try it. Have to make this quite a bit bigger than the stamped piece so you can still see that it's a map. And it's sideways. Let's put it that way. There wouldn't be anything wrong with using it sideways, but I want to use it right side up. I keep forgetting to mention, I notice that my thumbnails of the videos and the video itself, I noticed it first when I see the thumbnails, that my hands look kind of gray with the way the camera is. My phone is right above me now, and I guess my lights makes my hands look gray. My hands are not gray, they're quite pink. So, I don't know, maybe someday I'll do something with lighting, but I wouldn't know what to do. Can you still tell that's a map? I think so. What is this? Oh, this was from another music book, Edvard Grieg, for high voice. Maybe I want to tear some of that off so we can see more of the map. Now I feel like I need to make this a little skinnier. We'll get it. Yep, now it fits on there better. Okay, and I would sew around the blue piece. I think I'll center that one. At least eyeball center it. Just trying to see how much I am in the center of the screen. And I might add a piece of metal or something to that. Let's see what I have handy. See if I have anything that would do what I want to do. Let's see. Let's look in there. Have these signals, page signals, trying to see what's underneath these colored ones. I guess they're all the same. They're just on their sides. They don't look like this. Okay. I dropped one in the wrong. So I like this little hanger thing just for fun. I might just put that on there. I like that. And if I put it on with a brad, I can always take it off if I need to for any sewing. Thought I had brads in here that went with them. I know I have brads that'll work, so let me just grab my brads. just some teeny tiny ones. There. Something different. Okay, do I have time to do more? Let's see. Can't see the time. Yeah, we got time. Okay, so what's next? How about this one's a little bit bigger. It's not just a long narrow strip. It's a kind of a chunky piece. I love the blue of this paper. Can you see the mottled look? And I think this was one I purchased in a bundle of colored dyed papers. And so you see why I have to keep those scraps and use them. Maybe this will be a tuck spot. I'm looking through my pile of collage elements. There's a piece of wallpaper. It cut through. And now it would make a great tuck spot. I'll just cut that part off. I could leave it on. Just a little bit of embroidered trim. Let's go for it. I hope this will stick the doily to the vinyl, or the coated anyway, placemat or wallpaper. This is art, Barely Art. And I'm using it because of the fine tip. So I hope it is effective for this application. Want the flowers right side up, even though you're not going to see much of them. Actually, you'd see more of them if I had them the other way. I'm going to put glue on the backs of both of these pieces so they're all ready to be glued down, and then I will do them together so that they're arranged the way I want them to be. Because I don't want the top flat edge of this to show. Just want the flowers poking out. I mean, the top edge will show, but not at the corner. Does that make sense? Like so. That doily appears to be sticking. There's another one. I think I'll ink around the outside. I didn't ink the pieces, but maybe the outside of this pink wallpaper should be inked. I'm gonna just trim these. They'll probably break off anyway if I don't trim them. It's a vintage doily. And this could be a little pocket on a page. Oh no, it's two doilies. Well, I think that the glue went through on the lacy part. I just have to add some more glue here. That was two doilies stuck together. Okay, so that makes a nice little pocket. Now this one is a list of numbers, so it's a vertical piece instead of a horizontal. So let's try doing something a little different. Here's a scrap of I have this wallpaper in my collection, and I printed a piece of it. That looks pretty on there. And I could sew around all three of those pieces. I think we'll just keep this one simple. I'll just put glue in the middle. I should have inked it. I still can. There, I think that's a pretty little cluster to put on the side of a page. I'm looking at the time again. 36, we got time. I like to keep it around 45 minutes. Here's another, this is a real wallpaper piece. What could go in here? How about this one that says home? Which set did that come in? You might want to know, so I will try to find it for you. This is where that note, the little notes one came in. Oh, and I did stamp this label on a strip of muslin, so I do want to do these with fabrics too. I stamped the label and then stamped some words inside. Maybe we should try to play with them today. Oh, I know what this is. I was going to tell you what this is. I had bought at the flea market this box, bandage gauze roller, 2-inch bandage. That's what it is. And that was the first time that I actually used a piece of it. Okay, where did we get the home stamp? Oh, it came from the Kathy Holden set of words. That is called, this is made by Spellbinders. Oh, I had the piece that had the words, like this cardboard piece, and I don't know where it is at the moment, but I can try to remember to let you know, or I can link it below. Okay, let's get back to work here. I definitely don't want to cover the flower, but I could put a little of this bandage gauze behind the word. See how that looks. Yeah, that looks beautiful. It's just a hint of that fabric behind it. And I'm thinking maybe I'll put some little brads on that too. Let's glue this down for now. I might sew around that gauze. I probably will. I have brown thread in my machine right now, but I want to do a few of these pieces with the brown, and then I would switch to another color. I could, you know, do some fun ones in with a red thread, or switch to a white or off-white, which I know I would make some with off-white, but wouldn't it be fun to do some with red thread? I'm going to get my brads again. I don't know if this would be too big and too modern to add that yellow flower, but I think I like it over here. If I don't like it, I can always take it out. Have to take it out anyway so I can sew around the pieces. There, that's just a fun accent right there. Let's see what we can do with the fabric pieces, and then we'll be out of time, I'm sure. Let's do this one. I stamped the factory number 1896 in red. I think I'll just make this all in fabric. I like this plaid because it's got the red. Wish it was a little wider. I'm just going to cut it. Try to make it frayed. Well, I guess I'm going to have to trim off that frayed edge. I want it to be closer to the tag shape, I guess. I like it with that plaid. Maybe if I piece those three pieces together, I could make a little background for it. I think I'll do that. So that's going to require some sewing, but that's where we're at. I will sew these three pieces together and cut it a little bit bigger than that piece, and then we'll have that cluster. All right. I guess we're done. So let me show you what we've done. You just saw the fabric one. We made this one, which I really love. And this one. That's fun with the metal tab on it. And that's fun with the bright yellow flower. And we did this one. That will be a little pocket. And then I think the rest were already done. I showed you them at the beginning. So that's quite a few, and look at all the pieces I still have to make with. And I've got so many collage scraps to use. I will never run out. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I want you to go look at your stamp sets and look carefully at all of the pieces in your stamp set and see what you can do with them. And then let me know what you found. Did you enjoy this project? I think it's fun, and I might play with it some more a little bit later. It's Sunday. I can just play today. So I will see you in the next video, and I hope that you are having a creative day today. Bye.